Hello friends, today I will show you a trick that will blow your mind. This trick is named after great chess player Emanuel Lasker. This trick will truly throw your opponent. But you will able to do it only when you know it's all three variations. That's why make sure to watch this video till end. So let's get started. This chess trick is also known as Lasker trap, and you will play this with black pieces. You will play when your opponent start the game with pawn to d4, then you will play d5. Here white's most common response is pawn to c4. This is very popular opening, also known as queen's gambit. Here you will surprise your opponent by playing pawn to e5. This opening is also called Alban counter gambit, because white is getting pawn for free here. He will of course capture it, after which you will simply move forward your pawn to d4. As you can see here, our d4 is very irritating for white, because he cannot move out his knight. That's why many players in this position try to exchange this pawn and play e3, but you will not move your d4 pawn, instead you will give check with your bishop. And here white will definitely block check with bishop. But here you are going to surprise your opponent, as you will not save your bishop. Instead you will capture his pawn e3. And here 90% of the player capture the undefended bishop. At this position white is almost trapped, as your next move is to capture f2 pawn, and knight and king are forked. He will be really shocked that he cannot capture our pawn. If he captures, then his queen is gone. Hence he cannot capture our pawn at this position. So he will move his king to e2. Next move will be really shocking for him, as you capture his knight and promote a knight, giving check to the king. Here you will be wondering that why we didn't promote it to queen? The reason is simple: if we promote pawn to queen, then there will be no check to queen, and white will simply exchange queen and capture our promoted queen by rook, and position will be equal. That's why it is important that we promote our pawn to knight and give check to king. Now if he captures our knight, then we will simply move our bishop to g4, giving check to king, and queen is gone now. That's why he can't capture our knight. And only best square for his king is e1. If he does so, then you will give check to his king with your queen. In this position, if white blocks with g3, then you will move your queen to e4 by forking his king and rook. That's why g3 is not good move for white. Hence the only move left is king to d2. After which our upcoming moves will be really attacking. We will move our knight to c6, attacking his bishop, and when he will save his bishop, then we will attack his queen with our bishop. If he saves his queen, then we will long castle, giving check to the white's king. As you can see, in this position black pieces are in attacking position and white king has been exposed. This position is favorable for black. If we go back and let's your opponent is smart and didn't captures our bishop, instead he captures our pawn. In this case too, you don't worry, because your next move is to give check with your queen, and when he blocks with his pawn you will move queen to e4, and with this move you are not only attacking his rook, but also his pawn, as his bishop is pinned. So you have got the compensation for the pawn you earlier sacrificed, and position is balanced. Let's suppose he neither takes your bishop and nor pawn, instead he moves his queen to a4 square, giving check to your king. In this case you will block with knight, and after he captures your bishop you will simply capture his pawn, giving check to the king. And when he recaptures your pawn, then you will give check with your queen. If he try to block the check with pawn, then you will move queen to d4, giving check again. In this position, no matter where king moves, we will definitely capture one of his rook. Let's see how if his moves to g2 or e2 square, then you will capture b2 pawn, and in next move rook a1 is gone. And if he moves to e1, then you will move queen to e4, forking king and rook, and when he moves his to safe square, his rook is gone. And finally he moves his king to f3, then you will give check with bishop, and only safe square left for king is g2, so he is forced to move g2. Then you will move your queen to e4 and king is forced to f2 and rook is gone. In this position black is dominating. So this was Lasker trap. If you liked the trick, then please like the video and subscribe the channel.